You don't lack focus. What you're dealing with is something else, something no one talks about. Ever feel like no matter how hard you try to concentrate, something always pulls you away from what truly matters? We're drowning in constant distractions, mistaking multitasking for productivity. But what if the real key to your spiritual awakening lies in overcoming this overload of distractions? Today, I'm going to reveal what's truly robbing you of your mental clarity, and how to turn your mindfulness into a powerful ally. You don't have a focus problem. You have something else, and it can be solved. Ready to find out how? Have you noticed how hard it is to stay mindful these days? Seriously, think about it. How many times have you started doing something, and just a few minutes later, you're lost in a sea of phone notifications? I don't know about you, but that used to be my daily reality. This flood of information makes us believe there's something wrong with our focus. But here's the truth. We're living in a digital age where attention has become a scarce resource. As author Cal Newport puts it, distraction is an addiction that erodes our potential. The problem isn't that you're incapable of concentrating. It's that no one ever taught us how to manage this much stimulation at once. It's messages popping up, social media buzzing, never-ending to-do lists. And somewhere in the middle of all that, your life's purpose gets buried. But don't worry. In this video, I want to show you how to get your mental clarity back, break free from the multitasking myth, and turn your spiritual awakening into a truly productive routine. So take a deep breath and stick with me, because today you'll see that what people call a lack of focus is really just too much distraction. And I'm going to teach you exactly how to fix that. Let's dive into the first key point that will completely change the way you think about focus and mindfulness. Have you ever noticed that every time we complain about not being able to focus, there's usually a silent culprit behind it all? It's like, just when you're about to start something important, some sneaky distraction shows up to pull you off track. And the craziest part? We've gotten so used to it, we treat it like it's normal. Think about a typical morning. You wake up determined to practice some kind of spiritual habit, maybe meditate or read something meaningful about your life's purpose. But before you know it, you're on your phone, scrolling endlessly through Instagram. Sound familiar? You're definitely not alone. Millions of people fall into this same trap every day, confusing distraction with multitasking and so-called spiritual productivity. Here's the catch. We spend our lives thinking we're optimizing time by doing a bunch of things at once, but what really happens is our mindfulness gets watered down. It loses strength. And at the end of the day, the feeling is always the same. You didn't really get anything done. Be honest with yourself. How much of your day is actually productive, focused on what truly matters? 5, maybe 10%, or even less. This is what we're facing today. Not a focus crisis, but an overdose of constant distractions, stealing our mental clarity and leaving our spiritual growth running on autopilot. But don't worry, there's still hope. I'm here to help you break free from that trap. So really pay attention to what I'm about to share next, because the solution is simpler than it seems. Now that you understand how too many distractions are the real issue, let's dig into another major factor that often tricks people who are chasing high productivity: the multitasking trap. You've probably heard the saying that doing a bunch of things at once is a sign of efficiency. That mastering multitasking means you're more spiritually productive and set up for success in life. Well, my friend, I hate to break it to you. That's one of the biggest lies we've been told. And hey, don't just take my word for it. There are plenty of studies showing that multitasking can cut your efficiency by up to 40%. That's right, 40%. Author Gary Keller takes it even further, saying, multitasking isn't a strength, it's a strategic mistake. Pretty intense, right? Now, think about this. You're replying to an email, then a WhatsApp message pops up, and while you're typing, you suddenly remember something urgent you need to do for work. Sound productive? Not really. What's actually happening is your attention is being chopped up into pieces too small to create anything meaningful. Our spiritually aware mind craves depth. It needs mental clarity. It needs to enter a flow state for real focus to happen. Every time you switch tasks, your brain has to readjust all over again, burning energy, increasing anxiety, and clouding your clarity. Does that hit home? Ever end a day feeling drained, exhausted, and yet somehow like you didn't actually finish anything? That feeling is a direct side effect of multitasking. You're not alone. Almost all of us fall into this trap. But here's the good news. Once you understand this, you've taken the first real step towards spiritual awakening. And that's exactly what I'm here to guide you through. How to break that cycle and create a truly productive routine where mindfulness becomes your greatest asset. Now that you know the damage multitasking does to your focus and productivity, let's move on to another key piece of the puzzle. How a lack of clarity makes everything even harder. Have you ever stopped to consider that maybe your biggest struggle with focus isn't really about attention, but about clarity? Like the Stoic philosopher Seneca said, "To be everywhere is to be nowhere." And wow, isn't that the truth? Picture this. You wake up already feeling tired because you know you've got 1,000 things to do. Your day starts without a clear purpose, without mental clarity about what your real priorities are. And what happens? You jump from task to task, thinking you're being productive, but deep down, you're just burning energy and not moving forward. When you don't have clarity, it's easy to fall into the traps of multitasking and distractions. Your brain can't tell what's truly important, so everything feels urgent. On the flip side, when you clearly define what you want to achieve, focus comes naturally. As Carl Jung put it, "He who looks outside dreams. He who looks inside awakens." So how do you get out of this cycle? Start with something simple, like spiritual journaling. Yep, that notebook where you write down your thoughts, goals, and daily challenges. It's a powerful tool to bring mental clarity and take practical steps toward your spiritual awakening. Another game-changing habit? Guided visualization. Just take 5 minutes before starting your day to mentally picture what you want to accomplish. Combine that with mindfulness meditation, and I promise, your spiritual productivity will skyrocket. You'll realize that focus isn't a battle. It's a natural outcome of knowing your purpose. Feeling how everything starts to get lighter when you know where you're going. When you've got mental clarity, you can better direct your energy. But there's one more powerful factor that directly affects how we deal with distractions: the chemistry of our brain. Did you know your brain is literally addicted to quick rewards? It might sound odd, but it's this constant chase for dopamine that keeps us glued to social media, endlessly scrolling through those feeds. Every like, every notification, every message gives us a little hit of pleasure, locking our attention on things that often don't really matter. But here's the thing, you can actually use this to your advantage. Understanding how the brain's chemistry works is key to building a productive routine and boosting your spiritual growth. The concept is simple. If our brain loves fast rewards, why not train it to find joy in things that actually matter? One of the simplest and most effective techniques out there is the Pomodoro method. Ever heard of it? Here's how it works. Pick one task, focus on it for 25 minutes with full attention, then take a 5-minute break. That's it. Sounds easy, right? But that simplicity is exactly what makes it work. Your brain learns that after a short burst of effort, a reward follows, and it loves that. Another tool that can help a lot. Breathing techniques. Slower, mindful breathing helps reduce anxiety and sharpen focus. Try this. The next time you feel your mind wandering, pause for a moment and take a few deep breaths. Pay attention to the air flowing in and out of your lungs. It might feel like magic, but it's really just the power of mindfulness working in your favor. And don't forget the importance of micro-wins. Every small task you finish gives your brain a shot of dopamine, reinforcing the habit of staying productive. Over time, that satisfying feeling becomes a natural part of your daily rhythm, transforming your mental discipline from the inside out. Deepak Chopra said it best: if you focus your attention entirely on the present, anything is possible. So, why not try it today? Now that you know how dopamine and quick rewards influence your brain, it's time to understand that focus isn't just about willpower. Let's explore how having a solid system in place can make all the difference. Focus isn't just about having strong willpower, it's mostly about having the right system in place. I know, that might sound a bit different from what you've been told, but let me explain. How many times have you tried to start a new spiritual habit, like reading an inspiring book, meditating, or practicing mindfulness, only to give up shortly after? Is it really a lack of discipline, or could it be that your environment just isn't set up to help you stay focused? James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, said something incredibly powerful. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. And that's where the real magic lies. If you truly want to awaken your focus, you need a system that makes good choices easier and distractions harder. Want some practical examples? Let's go. Keep your space clean, organized, and inviting, because mental clarity starts with your physical surroundings. Set specific times for your most important tasks, like dedicating every morning to meditation or spiritual journaling. And here's a golden tip: put your phone away or turn it to airplane mode during those moments. Trust me, your focus will skyrocket. Another game changer is creating a productive routine. Your brain loves predictability. When you repeat positive habits daily, your spiritually aware mind starts recognizing them as essential, making it way easier to slip into that flow state and move towards spiritual awakening. Now imagine starting your day already knowing exactly what you need to do, feeling grounded, without distractions pulling at you. Not only does that increase your spiritual productivity, but it also gives you that satisfying feeling of purpose and accomplishment. Ready to build that system and transform your focus once and for all? We've come a long way, and look at all the powerful insights you've discovered today. You now understand that the real issue isn't a lack of focus, but an overload of distractions. You've learned that multitasking isn't productive. It's actually a trap that drains your mindfulness. You've also realized that mental clarity is the key to turning your spiritual habits into real, meaningful results. And on top of that, you discovered how to use your brain's chemistry to your advantage, with simple techniques like the Pomodoro method and mindful breathing. Now comes the most important part: putting it all into practice. It's not enough to just watch this and agree. You have to act. Pick at least one technique I shared with you today and start using it right now. Don't wait. As Buddha said, your work is to discover your world and then with all your heart give yourself to it. Your spiritual awakening begins with the awakening of your mindful attention. So, are you ready to start that transformation? If these words resonated with you, I invite you to take the next step on your journey of self-discovery. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you can continue walking this path of spiritual growth with us. And drop a comment below. Share what experiences you've had with the subtle enemies of your mind and how they've become unexpected teachers on your journey. Let's grow together, not just in the mind, but in the heart too. Oh, and if you want to go even deeper in this process, check out our video. Can you overcome procrastination in 30 days? It'll help you better understand how your reality is being shaped. Peace and light.